Since olden times, life was made more gracious and history preserved through the works of artists and craftsmen. Untold hours were spent in the creation of masterworks that would outlive them in beauty and service for the love of the art alone. In the second year of the society, the ancient and honorable Order of the Laurel was ordained and instituted, the fit mark of a peer, recognized for excellence in the arts and sciences. A companion of the Order of the Laurel is an artisan, but also has knowledge of the martial sciences and the wellhead of chivalry from which they flow, and has given of time and works to the benefit of the commonweal. The crown now calls before them the companions of the ancient and honorable Order of the Laurel here present. The crown now calls Bianca de Vittoria to come before this court and company.
Your Royal Majesties, nobles of this court, and good populous assembly, some words from a poet long lost to history. What guile is this that those her golden tresses she doth attire under a net of gold, and with sly skill so cunningly them dresses, that which is gold or hair may scarce be told. Is it that men's frail eyes, which gaze too bold, she may entangle in that golden snare, and being caught may craftily unfold their weaker hearts, which are not yet well aware? Take heed, therefore, mine eyes, how ye do stare, henceforth too rashly, on that guileful net, in which, if ever be entrapped are, out of her bands ye by no means shall get. Folly it were for any being free to covet feathers, though they golden be. And thus we are all ensnared by the enchanted works and beauty and love of masterfully crafted, works of beauty and love masterfully crafted by the hands of the Honorable Lady Bianca de Vittoria, Baroness of al-Barran. For untold hours she has labored with the quill and brush, and as such created many great masterworks known across the outlands and beyond. She comes before you this day bearing the arms, to wit, argent on a pile, her pure, between two griffins combatant, sable, a sun in splendor o'er. She has sought good counsel, ready to answer the singular question put to her by your majesties at your coronation.
Bianca, have you undertaken to accept companionship in the ancient and honorable Order of the Laural? It was offered to you for our coronation.
I have.
This greatly pleases us.
Bring forth the medallion. Let this medallion pass from hand to hand among the members of the order gathered here to symbolize the bond that we shall have with each of them. Master Philip White, Sir Warwick de Blakely, Mistress Monica Bunzel, Mistress Maymuna, Master Angus McFarland, and Duchess Cecilia. As members of the peerage, do you now affirm that Bianca has grown in gentle virtues and chivalrous grace, the hallmarks of a true and faithful peer?
Your Majesties, if I may. My name is Philip White, and by way of introduction, I was elevated to the Order of the Laural in Ostiora. I was elevated to the Order of the Pelican in the middle, and I now continue from the East Kingdom because I care very much for this lady. I want to speak to her and share with you as Pelican, service is very important, and I would speak to her generosity. I have known her for over 2 decades, and I met her when I was about 14, and she was serving as sharing our society with other people. When I talk about generosity, I don't mean in the way of largesse. I mean in the way that she treated me as an equal. She treated me as an adult, even though I was very young. And I think that's very important to our organization, that we welcome people in regardless of who they are. And she has never judged me regardless of my background or my experience. And I find that very impressive. So it's exciting for me to be able to say that she will be my equal today as a peer as well. Now, we are elevating her to the Order of the Laural. You are, Your Majesty. And there's someone here that cannot speak for her, but that was mentor to us both. Baroness Vashti of the Flaming Tresses passed away many years ago, but she was mentor to both of us. And I don't know that there was a woman that I had ever met that had as much parallel passion for creativity and joy in artistic endeavors. And the closest that I think that would be is with Bianca, because I don't know anybody else that shows so much joy in her art and wanting to make everything we experience a better moment every day that we're together. And I salute you. You are my peer, and you are my friend. Thank you, Your Majesties.
Your Majesties, I am Duke Walrick de Blakely, and today I speak on behalf of the Order of the Chivalry. Bianca kneels before you now because she is a great artisan, and she is being recognized as such. But she is much more than that, and I too would speak of her generosity. She is known throughout this kingdom for the beautiful works that she does, but not only because they are beautiful, but because they are seen in our homes, in our houses, because she has made so many of these great works that many of us here, many of your populace, get to appreciate them every day. She is generous with the works that she does for her barony and for the kingdom through largesse that is given out throughout the known world. But more, she is generous with her time, with opening up her house and her heart to all those around her. She has been a great friend to me since I've known her. She is a friend to me. She is a friend to al-Barran. She is a friend to the kingdom of the Outlands. Your Majesty, as a member of the Order of the Chivalry, I wholeheartedly endorse this candidate.
Your Majesty, on behalf of the Laural Circle and my own certain knowledge, I commend you for your choice to elevate this candidate. Today, as a Laural, I would speak of her arts, of which you've already heard. But she is talented in many arts. For example, her singing. Not only does she sing often with al-Barran's group of singers, she is also a member of the Stags Choir, and in recent years, Windover Bard. She also practices metalwork, and the medallion, which I hold, is etched by her own hand. She is skilled in pottery, both the making of it and the painting of it. And of course, we all know her skills in the scribal arts. The governing documents of our society have descriptions of all the peerages. And one of the things that they say about a Laural is that a Laural should be able to earn their living by their art. But I would propose to you that not only would she have earned her living, but that she would have been a wealthy woman. I commend your choice and congratulate Bianca, and we are ready to welcome her into our circle.
Greetings, your royal majesties and assembled nobles and gentles. I am Mistress Vittoria, mistress of the Pelican, and it is my honor to speak for Her Excellency Bianca as a representative of the Order of the Pelican. As we've heard, service is embodied by many aspects of the society. It's the quiet service of a Laural done through the arts that can be hard to see or is seen fleetingly at court, of which I speak today. Recipients of awards get a accoutrement that when they're recognized, such as an award medallion or an award sash or a circlet or a scroll, and these outward symbols of someone's achievement are made by an artisan such as Bianca, who toils over a pewter pot, or over fabric with needle and thread, or over vellum with paint and nib. Bianca is one such artisan, serving her kingdom faithfully and continually, as a scribe, as the Kingdom A&S minister, as an event steward, as event staff, and as land official.
Greetings, your majesties. I'm Master Siegfried Stern, and I bear the words of Master Angus, who is turned aside by the winter winds, ice and snow, for fear of his lady's safety on his way from Fontaine. Greetings, your majesties. It is my honor to speak as a representative of the Order of Defense on behalf of Her Excellency Bianca. I'm greatly saddened that I am not there in person to celebrate this special moment with her, but am very excited for her offer of admittance into the ancient Honorable Order of the Laurel, an honor that I feel is so well deserved. I have had the pleasure of knowing Her Excellency for quite a few years now. I first met her in my home barony of Fontaine-d'Ensade and Warders of the Western Gate. In truth, I met her in my vigil tent as I sat and contemplated entry into the Right Noble Order of the Pelican. Even at that time, I was greatly impressed by her courtly grace and the demeanor in which she carried herself. I imagine that it took great valor to enter the vigil tent and meet someone from another kingdom who had been offered peerage. While I can't recall the conversation word for word, I remember thinking as she left the vigil tent, wondering in my contemplations, how it was that I was being offered peerage and a lady such as Bianca was not. As a former Blue Iris Herald for several reigns, I have been privileged to see many of Bianca's fine scroll works firsthand, and am honored to be able to witness the beauty and detail of the scrolls firsthand. While I'm sure this has been mentioned, it would be remiss of me not to bring this up, given that I've seen so many of her scrolls up close. As White Stag Principal Herald, I have surprised her on occasion and asked her to sign scrolls for me. I'm afraid I don't have much of a hand for calligraphy, to which she has kindly dropped everything to assist me, so that gentles could have my signature upon their scrolls. This service that I, and I'm sure others, are most appreciative of. In closing, I would like to add that Her Excellency Bianca is one of those people who simply makes the game better for everyone, including members of the rapier community that I hold dear. Her service as event steward, kingdom officer, scribe, and of course, landed noble, makes the society more enjoyable for one and all, the hallmark of a true and faithful peer. I remain yours in service, Master Angus Reed McFarland.
Your Majesties, thank you. I'd like to speak today on behalf of the Royal Peerage. We've heard already of Bianca's generosity, her franchise, her proficiency, her service, and I think that all of us in this room have seen many examples of all of those traits. And all of those traits are of significant value to the crown of this kingdom, or to any of the kingdoms that she served. There's one trait, though, that I value in her, both as a friend and as a member of the peerage, and as a member of the royal peerage, that I think is less obvious to the populace, and that is her unrelenting reliability. As crown, one of the most amazing things that you get to do is reward the members of your populace, to recognize them for the amazing contributions that they make to the kingdom. It is the absolute joy of reigning over any kingdom. And when someone comes before you, you get to say wonderful things about them, and that feels great. And you get to tell everyone else about them, which feels great too, and you get to give them an award medallion. But then you get to give them a scroll. And you know, words, they fade. You forget them. For any of you who've received awards, you sit up there and you're maybe a little flustered about what's going on, and maybe you're not going to remember what the crown says about you. And maybe you're going to not remember to wear that award medallion every day. But every time you look at your wall and you see that beautiful, impeccably created, personalized scroll, I hope that every one of you really believes for that moment how valued you are as a member of this populace. And it's the work of people like Bianca, and in fact the work of Bianca herself in many, many cases, that allows the crown to give the populace that moment of appreciation. And I'll tell you what, every time I opened a scroll case and I found a scroll, I had a scribe to thank. And I don't even want to guess a percentage of the times that that scribe was Bianca. It was every time. It was delivered on time. I knew it would be there. I knew it would be beautifully executed and personalized. She haunts people's social media feeds to find out exactly what it is that they love. She puts their heraldry on a scroll. She puts, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh on a scroll. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of detail that she finds time. And she'll take assignments with 2 days' notice. And she'll sacrifice her own time and her own sleep to make sure that each and every one of you who has received an award from the crown can have that moment where you look at a beautiful piece of art and you feel the appreciation that we have for you. And as a crown, there is nothing that made me feel better about the work that we did than knowing that you all went home and had that moment and can continue to have that moment over and over again every time you look at that creation. And so, Bianca, I thank you for giving that moment to so many people. I'm really sorry I'm not giving you that moment today. But I love and value you, nonetheless, irony. And I thank your Majesty so much for recognizing my dear, dear friend with this accolade.
Gentle peers, we thank you for your words. Report lightning, ready so to say. Bianca, you've been deemed fit for this high estate by your peers, and have indicated your willingness to accept this honor from our hands. Do you now swear, by all that you hold, sacred, true, and holy, that you will honor and defend the crown and kingdom of the Albans?
I do.
You will persevere in the pursuit of excellence in the arts and sciences, thereby bringing honor to yourself, your order, and the Albans.
I do.
That you will be courteous and honor your peers. Of the chivalry, of the Laural, of the Pelican, and of the defense.
I do.
That you will conduct yourself in all matters that befits a peer, continuing to practice the virtues of chivalry, nobility, and personal integrity, to the benefit of your own good name and the greater glory of the Outlands.
I do.
And having sworn these solemn oaths, know now that we, Robert and Mage, by right of arms, King and Queen of the Outlands, do proclaim you to be a companion of the ancient and honored order of the Lord.
Let the medallion be brought forward. Take from our hands this medallion, which bears the laurel wreath and is the symbol of your honor. Wear it always with great honor. Wear it always with humility.
Let the chaplet be brought forward. This chaplet is made of the noble plant from which the order takes its name. It was in ancient times a preeminent mark of excellence. Wear it then, in token of the merited opinion of your companions in the ancient and honorable order of the Lord.
Your Majesties, at this time, I would swear fealty to the crown of the Outlands.
Shall please us to accept your fealty.
This day do I render homage and fealty to my sovereign Lord and Lady, Robert and Mage, by right of arms, King and Queen of the Outlands, who will from this day forward be my liege lord and lady. I will remain true in all ways, serving them faithfully. This do I swear, by my honor and by the high ideals which I hold as a peer of the realm. So say I, Bianca de Vittoria.
We accept your homage and fealty, and pledge to you, from this day forward, till the end of our reign, you are our liege woman, that we will honor your order and defend your rights as a peer. We will protect the trust that you have placed in us, mighty with justice, tempered with mercy. Arise, Mistress Bianca.
We, Robert and Mage, King and Queen of the Outlands, subject, Bianca de Vittoria, whose diverse and great talents have shone forth to the enrichment of the commonweal. It is our intent to advance her in honor and admit her to the Order of the Laurel. We do hereby elevate and affirm those arms previously granted by the College of Arms by these letters patent to wit, Argent on a pile purpur between two griffins combatant sable, a sun in splendor o'er, which Mistress Bianca shall hold for her sole and unique use throughout the known world as a sign of the high esteem in which she is held. To which we set our hands this 17th day of December, Anna Societatis 51, being 2016 Gregorian. Robert King, Mage Queen.